Good day, everyone. Our group member, Group 3. Our members are Kenya, Ambika, Caitlin, Tishalia, and myself, Nakita. A farmer recognizes a problem with weeds in her 2-month-old pigeon peas, Cajanus cajun, crop and decides to apply a weedicide. After 2 weeks, she noticed that there were no signs of weed kill. What could possibly account for this? Today, the Agriculture Department Extension officers, Amy and Joy, will visit Farmer Grace farm.
Good morning, Amy and Joy. Thank you for visiting my farm.
Good morning. It's our pleasure.
What seems to be the situation, Farmer Grace? How can we help you?
Well, I have recognized that weeds have really been affecting my 2-month-old pigeon peas.
Did you apply any weedicide?
Well, yes, I did apply the weedicide, but I noticed that there's been no signs of weed kill at all, and it has been over 2 weeks now.
Oh, what did you apply and how much did you apply? Did you research it?
Okay, well, no, I didn't research it and I didn't measure it. I just applied it, and I'm not too sure of the weedicide I applied either. I was just really frustrated.
After Farmer Grace explained her frustration to Amy, Amy gave her some background information about pigeon peas.
Pigeon peas, also known as Cajanus cajun, is one of the most common tropical and subtropical legumes cultivated for its edible seeds. Pigeon pea is highly branched shrub with a woody base, slender stems, and trifoliate leaves. The plant leaflets are oblong in shape and the leaves are alternate and arranging spirally on the stems. The plant usually produces the yellow flowers, but they can be yellow with streaks of purple or red. Pigeon pea is fast-growing, hardy, widely adaptable, and drought-resistant. It is important for food security in areas where rainfall is not reliable and droughts are likely to occur. Pigeon pea provides green forage of outstanding value, and other forages are not available.
Wow, that was incredibly informative. Thank you, Amy. Now I know that I don't only need to sell my pigeon peas, but I could use it as animal forage too. Wow.
Yes, you can.
With the informative information, Joy felt like Farmer Grace did not research before she planted.
Farmer Grace, since you found the background information informative, did you know that within the early seedling stages, peas plants are very susceptible to crop damage by the weeds which are commonly associated with them? They are very poor competitors against these weeds, and our seedlings offer no competition at all. This is why it is very important to control and prevent potential weed outbreaks early in the crop life cycle. Some of the weeds that affect the pea plants are broadleaf weeds, nutgrass, annual meadowgrass, wild oats, hornless barnyard grass, green amaranth, Johnson grass, and nutgrass, just to name a few. The most prevalent weed outbreaks in the cultivation of pigeon peas are warm seasonal annual weeds, particularly grasses. Many of these weeds can be controlled with pre-emergent strategies, but this poses problems to the healthy growth of the pigeon pea crop, and that needs to be taken into consideration.
Huh. No, Joy, I didn't know that there were so many weeds that affected pigeon pea plants.
Okay, Farmer Grace. Recommended weedicides for broadleaf weeds can be achieved by using a pre-emergence with a soil-applied residual herbicide, or when weeds and crop have both emerged with a foliar-applied post-emergence herbicide. Pre-emergence herbicide removes weed competition early and gives better control of weeds such as nutgrass. Post-emergence spray of full-rate prednisone can be applied through nodes of the crop.
Yes, also farmer, there are ways to apply these weedicides because pigeon peas has a very slow initial growth rate, which causes it to be more susceptible to weed competition. Therefore, The first 30 to 60 days of cushion or scussion is very important. Hand weeding at least twice without the application of weedicide to the fields at days 25 and 45 days have been seen to have a great effect on minimizing the weed problem rather than just one hand weeding at the 45 days mark. Once the pigeon peas have reached a length of 1 meter, they will be able to effectively compete with weeds. Weedicide has a great result in controlling the weed population.
Joy further explained some weedicides which shall be recommended for farmer grades that can help control the weed population. She stated Dicot, Permethrin, and oxydizone 0.75 to 1.0 and paraquat 1.0 to name a few. Applying higher rates of weedicide have a better control than lower rates. Farmer grades can apply pendimethalin and oxydizone to the field. These weedicides are seen to have great effect in controlling the weeds for a longer period of time. She can apply Dicot 0.3 kilograms in 112 liters of water per hectare between rows of her 2-month-old pigeon peas. This will kill the entire weed without affecting the crop. At a higher rate of concentration, 0.9 kilograms per hectare will be able to kill all weeds within a 3-day period. However, this will slightly affect the pigeon peas, but they will recover as well as a treated field. This can be seen over a period of 1 month after application become much more better control. When Farmer Grace saw her pigeon peas in the field, which have already been sprayed, it is recommended that Farmer Grace hand weed once for the first 45 or 60 days. In doing so, Farmer Grace is able to decrease the dry matter and density of weed much more compared to a single application of weedicides at higher rates.
Yes, it sure is, but lastly, instead of using chemical weedicide, different IPM methods can be implemented. IPM stands for Integrated Pest Management. This consists of methods such as biological, cultural, and mechanical controls of removing pests, in this case weeds. Using the biological method, the farmer can introduce insects or pests specific to the weed to ensure that attacks only the weed. Mechanically, the farmer can remove weeds by hand. Biologically, there are no controls for nutgrass, but fungi can be used directly on the weed.
Amy, this is great. I believe now I have all the information I need, and I'll call you all if I have any further questions. I will also need to learn to research in the future as well. Thank you, Amy and Joy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It seems like Amy and Joy have been able to fully explain the situation to Farmer Grace. In the future to come, she will know what to do.